Hello families, and welcome to a quick tutorial about how to take a look at our state testing through a practice or a training test at home. If you're interested in seeing what the state tests look like, or if you would like to give your child a few more opportunities for practice, brushing up to become comfortable with the test before it takes place in April, here's where you start. You go to CAASPP.org, 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 and you click on this third green box right here, practice and training tests. Don't worry about these other things. These are all for the teachers at school, but this is the one that parents can use, practice and training tests. I click on there and I see these three boxes. Please click on the green box with the two people in there, student interface practice and training tests. Click on there. And there is no login required. We're logging in as a guest here. This does not keep any data on what you do. It does not give you back a score. This is really just to kind of play around inside of the interface to get an idea about what the test is like. So we're logging in as a guest, and I click sign in. The only thing that you really have to do is choose the correct grade for your child. So we're just going to click 6th grade right here. Guest school, guest state, this is correct. And we're going to choose from these pink ones up here at the top. And in classrooms, we go over the training tests and in the younger grades, but at home, you can take a look at these pink ones right here, the practice tests. We've got the English Language Arts practice test, which is a little bit more traditional with multiple choice questions, some fill in the blanks, clicking and dragging and highlighting. And then we have the performance task. This is a reading opportunity, maybe a little bit of listening to audio, making sense of a bunch of different pieces of information, and usually writing a few paragraphs or a short essay about that. Same thing goes with math practice. Math practice tests are solving math problems. And the math performance task is, again, taking a bunch of data, a bunch of information, and creating some sort of project with that. But let's just choose the ELA practice test for now. At this point, we can choose settings. Now, most students, as they take this, will not have any of these settings. These are for our special needs student. And if you are a parent of a special needs student, you can turn some of these on. And these are based on what is available in your child's IEP. But I'm just going to keep everything as the standard default. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and click select. Is this your test? Are your settings correct? Scroll down to the bottom and click yes. Then we see this video. And every student before every test has to make sure that their audio and video is playing. And again, we ask our students to have headphones with them as they take the test because there are some audio portions. So I click play video. And only when I've done that, now I can click I could play the video and sound. You could take a look at some of the instructions and help, but I'm going to click begin test now. And here's what I see. So this is a 6th grade ELA test. Students would have to read this passage right here. To make it a little bit easier on them, they can click on these arrows and it stretches it out. Kind of goes full screen right there. There are questions along the way, a couple little hints about the way this works. Across the top are the back and next buttons. So once they finish all the questions on a page, they can go back or they can go next, but they can always go back during the test session or during that maybe 2-hour period. They're allowed to go back and check answers. There's a save button, but there is no saving required. Every mouse click is automatically saved. And there's a pause button just in case they have to go to the bathroom. They pause their test to kind of lock their screen down so no one else can access their test. Across here, we've got something called Line Reader. This is a universal tool for all students. This basically all it does is as you're clicking on a line, it highlights that line for you to kind of help students keep their focus. We also have the zoom out and zoom in features for comfort as students are reading. In each question, we also have something called a hamburger menu right here, which gives students a little tutorial. If they know the answer, but they don't know how to enter that answer onto the screen, they can click on the tutorial, and it will show them basically a short little video about how to enter the text. All right, I'm going to close that now. And there's also mark for review. We encourage our students to not take way too much time on any one question, but to answer it to the best of their ability. And then if they want to come back to it, they can put a little flag on there. So before they submit the test, they can click on any of the questions that they flagged that they want to revisit. All right, so this first question says, click on 2 sentences that best support the conclusion that Archimedes is very observant. Now, if a student maybe is an English language learner or who's not familiar with some of the text, we've got the word observant here, and I can tell because it's got some little dotted lines above and below. I click on there, and it gives me a glossary, which is nice. It's not available for every single word, but they are available sometimes. So this one, slightly different than just clicking on a bubble. They can click on 2 of these words. Remember, this says choose 2 sentences that support or that provide evidence from the text. All right, so then number 2, which sentence best summarizes a central idea? Because these are radio buttons or these little round circle buttons, there's a 1 correct answer. And again, if you're keeping track, I'm not actually answering these correctly. Number 3, read the sentence from the text. Anyone can see that I displaced a bulk of water equal to the bulk of my body. What does the word bulk most likely mean? So I answer that. Here, this one is a text entry question, and we always encourage our students not just to write a word or 2, not just to write a sentence or 2, but to really flesh out an idea. So that might be 5, 6, 7 sentences right here. If I'm going through here just to practice, I have to have at least 1 letter in a box before it lets me move on. Question number 5, 1 correct answer. Question number 6, 1 correct answer. What conclusion can be drawn? Again, I need more text in there. I can go on through there, and once I'm finished with this page, now I click next, and a little bit more to it. And again, these are check boxes. I have to select 2 sentences from the text that best support the inference right there. Once you're finished, you'll have the opportunity to end tests. It will be a new button that shows up. This is a good chance, again, for parents to kind of have an understanding of what the test looks like, for students to get their brains in gear before testing starts. But again, once you end the test, it doesn't give you your score because it isn't keeping track of right or wrong questions. If you have any questions about this, please contact us in the tech department, or me, David Paskowitz, or your child's teacher, who is always the best. Or you can contact your child's teacher, who might have some more answers for you. You can contact your child's teacher, who will definitely have more information for you about testing as the date approaches. So we thank you very much for watching our video, and we wish your child all the best when it comes to our testing later in the year.